The year was 1945. The Second World War raged across the globe. In the Pacific theatre, a tiny volcanic island became a focal point of the conflict, Iwo Jima. For the United States, Iwo Jima represented a crucial stepping stone towards the Japanese mainland. Iwo Jima's location, between the Mariana Islands and Japan, made it a prime target. It housed 3 airfields that posed a significant threat to American bombing raids on Japan. Capturing Iwo Jima would be a major strategic victory for the Americans. It would neutralize the Japanese airfields, providing a safe haven for damaged American bombers returning from raids. Furthermore, it would offer a base for American fighter escorts to protect the bombers. Little did anyone know the battle for this seemingly insignificant island would become one of the most iconic and brutal battles in history. On February 19, 1945, following a massive naval bombardment, the United States Marines launched their assault on Iwo Jima. Operation Detachment, as it was known, involved the largest invasion force in Marine Corps history. Over 70,000 Marines stormed the beaches, expecting a swift victory against the entrenched Japanese defenders. They were met with a scene of utter devastation. The pre-invasion bombardment had transformed the island into a desolate wasteland. However, the bombardment had failed to dislodge the deeply entrenched Japanese soldiers. As the first waves of Marines landed, they were met with a hail of machine gun fire, artillery and mortar attacks. The black volcanic sand turned crimson with the blood of fallen Marines. The Japanese defense of Iwo Jima was masterminded by General Tadamichi Kuribayashi. A brilliant strategist, Kuribayashi knew that he couldn't win a conventional battle against the overwhelming firepower of the Americans. Instead, he prepared for a war of attrition. Kuribayashi ordered his men to abandon traditional Japanese defensive tactics, which emphasized suicidal charges and frontal assaults. Instead, he ordered his troops to dig in, creating a complex network of underground tunnels and bunkers. These tunnels and bunkers were interconnected, allowing the Japanese to move troops and supplies unseen by the enemy. They were armed with heavy artillery, machine guns and mortars, strategically positioned to inflict maximum casualties on the advancing Americans. Kuribayashi's strategy was to inflict heavy casualties, bleed the Americans dry, and break their morale. The battle for Iwo Jima was not a swift victory, as the Americans had initially hoped. It turned into a brutal, bloody slog, a gruesome testament to the tenacity of both sides. Every inch of the island was contested with a ferocity rarely seen in warfare. The Marines faced relentless counterattacks, emerging from hidden tunnels and camouflaged bunkers. Snipers picked off soldiers from concealed positions, adding to the terror and confusion. The fighting was often hand-to-hand, a desperate struggle for survival in the volcanic ash and sulphurous smoke. Despite facing relentless enemy fire and heavy casualties, the Marines pushed forward with unwavering courage. They fought for their comrades, for their country, and for the belief that they were fighting for a just cause. On February 23, 1945, amidst the chaos and carnage of the battle, a moment of hope emerged. A group of Marines from the 2nd Battalion, 28th Marines, reached the summit of Mount Suribachi, the island's highest point. They hoisted a small American flag, a symbol of defiance against the enemy and a beacon of hope for the weary Marines fighting below. The sight of the flag fluttering proudly in the wind boosted the morale of the American forces and sent a powerful message to the Japanese Iwo Jima would fall. The moment was captured by Associated Press photographer Joe Rosenthal, who, unaware of the significance of the event, almost missed the shot. His iconic photograph raising the flag on Iwo Jima became an instant sensation, symbolizing American determination and the sacrifices made during the war. The Battle of Iwo Jima produced countless stories of heroism and sacrifice. Two figures in particular stand out as symbols of the courage and determination displayed by those who fought there: John Basilone and Jacqueline H. Lucas. John Basilone, a gunnery sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, was already a legend before Iwo Jima. He had received the Medal of Honor for his extraordinary heroism during the Battle of Guadalcanal. On Iwo Jima, Basilone once again demonstrated extraordinary bravery, single-handedly destroying a Japanese blockhouse and guiding a tank through a minefield while under intense enemy fire. He was killed in action that day, February 19, 1945, and posthumously awarded the Navy Cross for his valour. Jacqueline H. Lucas was a young man with a burning desire to serve his country. He lied about his age, enlisting in the Marines at just 14 years old. During the battle for Iwo Jima, Lucas threw himself on 2 grenades to protect his platoon from the explosion. He miraculously survived but sustained severe injuries. The Battle of Iwo Jima, though fought on a tiny island, left an indelible mark on history. The following timeline highlights key events of the battle, serving as a stark reminder of the valor and sacrifice of those who fought there. February 16th to 17th, 1945. US 5th Fleet carrier aircraft launch a devastating raid on Tokyo, softening up Japanese defenses in preparation for the invasion of Iwo Jima. February 19th, 1945. The United States Marines launch Operation Detachment, landing on the beaches of Iwo Jima. They are met with fierce resistance from the entrenched Japanese defenders. February 23, 1945, Marines from the 2nd Battalion, 28th Marines, reach the summit of Mount Suribachi and raise the American flag, a moment immortalized in Joe Rosenthal's iconic photograph. March 9th to 10th, 1945, American B-29 bombers carry out a devastating firebombing raid on Tokyo, marking a turning point in the air war against Japan. March 26, 1945. After weeks of brutal fighting, Iwo Jima is declared secure. The island, once a symbol of Japanese resistance, becomes a testament to the courage and sacrifice of the American fighting man.